In the world today, technology companies are the first responders in cyberspace. And just like the medics that work for a military on a battlefield, I think that we need to be neutrals. We need to help everyone. We need to help everyone who is impacted or injured or hurt. And we need to be protected from retaliation by governments when we do help everyone. One of the things one needs to do in cyberspace is identify who is engaging in cyber attacks. Well, that's something that the International Atomic Energy Commission does every day, every year. It's a model that we can consider, and people can decide, should it be part of the United Nations? Should it be a non-governmental organization? How should it work? I think there's lots of room for people to come together and compare what they think would be best. What I think is interesting is it's the kind of model we can learn from, and therefore an example on which we can build. This is the kind of set of projects that will unfold over a series of years. I wish it would unfold over weeks or months, but it's bigger than that. I do believe that the tech sector has the opportunity in 2018 to come together and adopt what we've called a tech sector accord that would pledge us to work together and be principled in protecting people. If we can do that in 2018, I think we would create the foundation for faster momentum by governments. We could see governments taking more steps in 2018 and 2019 and beyond. Ultimately, all of this is one of the issues of our generation, of our lives. It is something that to some degree is likely to occupy our work globally as an international community over the next decade. If you look at the history of arms control negotiations, and this really is in some ways an arms control negotiation, they usually take the better part of a decade, and we may need to be prepared to work that way every year. Not just in this city, but in this building. Well, we believe the world needs to adopt a digital Geneva Convention, in effect to create the rules, the law for the 21st century that will ensure that countries, nations, governments don't use cyber weapons to attack people. We need to have rules in place that will ensure that they don't attack hospitals, they don't attack the electrical grid, they don't attack the electoral processes of our countries. And we're not going to get there unless we build on the law that exists already, recognize where it applies, but then fill in the gaps and add to it. And a digital Geneva Convention would do just that. We're seeing cybercrime, unfortunately, grow very substantially. We saw it grow on a single day, the 12th of May, with the WannaCry attack. That single attack affected over 200,000 computers in over 150 countries. But unfortunately, that was just one day. It was the worst day of the year, but it was only one day of the year. Estimates are now saying that cybercrime is costing the global economy $70 billion a year. Companies around the world are being hacked or attacked every day. No one has the precise number, in part because companies don't always want to admit it, but unfortunately it has become a very common problem.